Pygmishas are the bloodline of Eve.
Hi, it's Brittany from the Goddess Complex LLC. Welcome to today's video. This is the most, how can I say this? The most backwards. It's backwards. The Pygmishas, those karmics or whatever you want to call it, karmics or Pygmishas? Karmics. Normally they're toxic, feminine, toxic, masculine genotypes. Since the karmic bloodlines are over, Lilith was the daughter of Satan and the devil. So therefore, anything karmic was associated with her. Anything Eve-based is not correlated to a Pygmisha. Eve-based is any woman in divine energy, any woman in divine feminine energy. Is actually based off the other beings before Adam and Eve. There was another original grouplings, which goes with the seven heaven theory, so on and so forth. But I cannot let this go by without making that statement. Lilith was Satan and the devil's daughter. So anything karmic, demonic, evil, bloodline based is Lilith. They actually lied. Medusa is the mother to the first man and woman being, male and female being. And also, Oshun predates Medusa, and so on and so forth, as far as the heaven bloodline ranking system goes. So therefore, the first male and female being came before Adam and Eve, which still predates them to be the divine feminine, divine masculine, male or female energies, or energy beings, because we came down in gaseous form of the ether, spirit, and soul, and also so on and so forth, even predating the first male and female being. It just depends on the nature, but once you get to heaven, you'll learn the true story about that. Because etheric beings or organisms created by God throughout the galactic, similar to those in Futurama and The Simpsons and so on and so forth, which gave us a sneak peek, especially in Futurama, about the quote-unquote ether beings or ether beings or gaseous beings, what we textbook call them in the woke community maybe, which is just a nickname. They're a type of divine being from several galaxies and dimensions, so on and so forth, similar to those of the male and female being. The original divine feminine and the original divine masculine were beings from heaven put here. So therefore, that debunks the Lilith versus Eve theory, because there's another being that predate. Also, like I said, the first male and female divine feminine, divine masculine beings came straight out of heaven here to earth, which also correlates with the traditional story from maybe the early 80s, 90s, so on and so forth, of Adam and Eve that was told in most religious and maybe spiritual circles compared to the story now with extra data and facts. So if you don't know, anytime you mention Lilith, they have to change even the natal chart system from Lilith to Medusa, or Lilith to, how can we put it? It's going to be the Medusa placement, and then there's another terminology that predates Medusa as well, since they have to change the natal chart system just a little bit. Anytime you mention Lilith, you have to mention Satan and the devil, because those are her parents. They hid it. Hecate came back her second lifetime as the devil's daughter. So is Jezebel and prima donna, so on and so forth. Like I said, this information be put into rotation ASAP very soon, in the very near future, because God's actually tired of people worshiping Lilith and Jezebel and prima donna and several others like Hecate, because they're given a false story. They stole other people's narratives. So when it comes to this, now that you know that Lilith is Satan and the devil's daughter, and Hecate and Jezebel, prima donna, all had human lifetimes and came back as the devil's daughters. And I mean, horrible female beings. Also, Eve should not be downgraded, because it's a part of, actually, unfortunately, the formerly known as the Illuminati CERN, occult groups, or whatever you want to call them. Their goal is to get you to down Eve and Adam, because we know they're divine, and they derive from a divine bloodline. Eve was not weak. Eve was very strong and customized to be with Adam, because she came down first with Adam. So they do have to change the book of the Bible, because I end up breaking the Da Vinci Code when fighting the alleged, now formerly known as the Illuminati and CERN, and several other alias groups. Through research, through studying, through divination, through actual meditation and prayer, and talking one-on-one with God and all of heaven and the universe. Every download, activation, every transmission, I listen, and I study, and I put everything together with God. You have to get rid of the Lilith theory. Think Medusa. Lilith is the one with the snakes in the head. Medusa has locks. They almost look like tentacles, but they're locks. We need to think more galactic and highly of divine feminine women beings or female beings, and divine masculine man and male beings, and not let social media and whatever this leftover Illuminati agenda. It popped up on TikTok and several social medias in 2020 when they first attacked our culture in the spiritual and magical, even the religious spiritual arts community and metaphysics community. They affected the lives of millions, almost billions, globally. This false theory, similar to those of calling Oshun, which is one of the other ones that other goddesses and elder gods that predate Medusa. Oshun predates Medusa. So I don't know what God's going to give us as far as transmission and download, and download-wise as far as information on what's going to be changed, other than what has been previously stated. But when the time comes for the information to share, instead of keeping it, private, then we'll let the world know. Oshun, Medusa, the natal chart has to reflect them, not Lilith. We came first as heaven divine, galactic cosmic beings, ancient beings of the heavens. We predate anything, Lilith, or even Hecate, or whatever the case may be. Excuse me. So I couldn't let this Friday morning take that video up my For You page without me commenting, because they're going to start respecting Medusa and Oshun and the mother goddesses that came before, way before Lilith was ever deemed anything of a dark mother goddess. No, Medusa is the dark mother. A lot of people know that, but also you have to study the other stuff in the other books from each bloodline and each culture, and also each time continuum, realm, dimension, and even planets, and also galaxies and different other, your galactic starseed research and study. You have to study the gods and goddesses and really study them, and also who are their enemies, their rivals, their counterparts when it comes to who mock them. Everything in hell mocks everything in heaven. It mocks. Not imitates, not replicated. Mocks. Lilith mocks Medusa and Oshun, just to name a few. And we haven't even gotten to the other part of heaven and the ancients, which I'm looking forward to actually talking about them very soon. Again, like I did before 2020 and during 2020 to 2025, which is now. There's some beautiful beings that look just like us, called angels and archangels and guardians and ancestors and other ancient beings that are in the heavens right now cheering earth on, because we got a problem to deal with about this miscommunication of information post Satan's death in 2022, which Heaven Victory Week is June 8th through the 19th. Don't forget to celebrate and light your white candle and all your heaven colors, because you earned it. You earned it, and congratulations, Divine University Class of 2025 so far.